Welcome back to Buckets and Bibles. I was thinking about. Sorry, man, I'm driving down a dirt road. Look, I've got some stuff on my glasses. I was driving and I was thinking about how much I love my brothers and sisters and how much of it is an honor to have such amazing people in my life. And I'm gonna have to take these off. It's bugging me. But it's a trip because I've always had people in my life that I liked and even loved. Some were really cool and some were turds, I mean, that's everybody's story, I'm sure. Probably a lot more of one than the other, if you know what I'm saying. But I have amazing people in my life, and some of that, to keep that and to protect that, when you love something, just like my kids and my wife, I mean, I would go to an extreme to protect them and to I'm riding this guy's way. Alright, sorry about that. Yeah, I'd go to an extreme to protect my family and to keep them, I do in a lot of cases go to an extreme to keep them protected and out of harm's way. And that's like being a good steward to something. You have an obligation to protect it. And I think for me, there's some other aspects that kind of roll over into brothers and sisters that are a lot of the same things. I've got amazing group of people, tribe, if you would, right? And we come from all walks of life. I think the unity is because we're the body, because we have common beliefs and convictions about what's coming and what's happening in the world. Bible, our faith for sure is probably the number one thing that keeps us together. I don't think if we didn't have that, the commonality of faith and understanding of the scriptures, then we probably wouldn't last. But that seems to bond us together pretty good. All that to say, I think when you've got people that you love, brothers and sisters, and you want to protect them, like there's a lot of stuff that I do for my people that I don't do for the rest of the world, and that I'm not gonna do. Not that I wouldn't help somebody that needed help, because that's not really what I'm saying. But you hear people say, "Brother, I'd die for you." Yeah, man. I mean, that's kind of that's almost like a baseline love if you really love somebody. For me, and I think the other aspect of that people miss is that if you love people around you, you want to be an asset and you want to be a blessing. You don't want to weigh them down. You want to do your best to do your part and then some. And I mean, to the point for me, what the point of the video for me is, I want to be so squared away that I can plus up people that I love when they need it, or just because I love them, I can do it, even if they don't need it, and so like living for your bros, like really getting squared away, doing your best to be spiritually sound, scripturally sound. Make sure that your motives and morals are squared away, that you're doing things for the right reasons. Because humans, man, tend to be selfish, and they don't necessarily recognize that, because it comes in so many different formats. You know, it's like, do you have self-seeking motives? You know, are you looking for praise? Are you looking for you're looking just to have that in, like, yeah, I did that, and feel good about yourself? You know, like, I don't really do none of that to feel good about myself. I do it just because I love them. Whether I get an attaboy or you know, well done, faithful sir, that's not why I'm doing it. Those things are nice, but they're not a requirement for me to have the convictions I have and to walk the way I walk. You know, to a fault, I will go help you for free and put myself out, because I just operate that way. And I don't know that that's a good or a bad thing. It's just part of my character, is that I love to help people. I have a passion for it. I just know, I know what it's like to need help. And I know what it's like to just get help, even when I didn't quite need it. And it's a huge blessing to receive something like that from somebody without any, well, I did this for you, why don't you, you know, like, without expectation. Because people do stuff most of the time with some level of expectation. And I'm not saying that I don't have an expectation. But my need to be recognized for it isn't really my motives. It's nice to get recognized, and there's times when you need to be. You know, there's times when you're doing a lot of stuff and people can be ungrateful, or forget that you're doing the labor of love, and that can be disheartening in a lot of ways. But usually when I'm helping people, I can tell that they're grateful for the help. And it's not like they're like, oh, thank you so much. It's not all that. It's not all that. I just know. I'm able to read your character, your body language, all that kind of stuff, you know. And I guess I go through cycles with it too, because sometimes I do it more than others. And at the times that I do it more than others is usually when I got my own stuff going on. But I love my people so much that I don't want to do anything dumb and put them in a bad situation. I don't want them to struggle in vain for no reason. And don't take me wrong, I'm not trying to steal the job of the Spirit to teach and discern. And, you know, you're going to go through trials. I'm not trying to rob that, because you have to go through trials. But sometimes people are going through other stuff, and they just, you know, just helping them carry their tools, you know, into the garage and put them away is just that little bit they needed that day. Or just coming over and doing whatever, you know. People always could use a little something, you know. I look at it like this. So for me personally, I probably got, on a day-to-day, I've probably got 15 to 25, somewhere in that range, of things that are on my plate, that are pre-existing, you know, kind of hanging over my head, that are on my list, that may or may not get done that day. And then probably about 5 to 10 things that need to be done that day, not including my work. And so there's a lot. And sometimes when a brother shows up and is just like, hey man, you need a hand with that? I wasn't even thinking about needing a hand with it, but man, that's actually helps me take something off my plate that brings more relief than I realize. And so I think recognizing that, I'm able to do that for other people. It just the simplest things, you know. But because I love them, man, I want to be squared away, and I want to help people, and I want to plus people up. Witnessing to people about the Messiah and about the Father and the Holy Spirit and the miracles, and that's my number one passion. But, you know, a close second is just being of service to people. And it's not one thing specific. I might shine in certain stuff better than others, but it's not one thing specific. I just enjoy helping people, and sometimes it's really hard stuff that people need help with, and there ain't a lot of people willing to do that, you know. There's just not. But I've got a special group of people, and a lot of times a bunch of them are willing, you know. A bunch of them are willing to like drop what they got going on and come help. And that to me is special. That's something that you don't find out there. That's something that, with the right motives, heart set, with a servant's heart, you don't find that all over the place. And so when I say I got a special group of people, I do have a special group of people that would definitely die for me, my family. But not just that, but they would pour into me in other ways. You know, scripturally, spiritually, they pray for me. You know, they see if I'm struggling, they lift me up. There's opportunities, you know. It's so miraculous. And, you know, we're not like regular folks. We're definitely a peculiar people. I know Bear Independent talks about that a lot on his channel, being a peculiar. It's the truth, man. Because we're not like everybody else. We're definitely set apart. We're definitely our own thing. But being willing to like live for your people, like a lot of times I try super hard to be squared away so that I'm not a hindrance, so that my brother doesn't see me struggling on stuff that maybe I just need to try a little harder at, or something that I just, you know, need to get out of a rut, you know, of doing or not doing. You know, and we're human, man. We're gonna have faults. We're not gonna be perfect. Everybody's gonna have stuff, but it's irrelevant. It's that you still want to strive for being so blessed and being on top of your game, so that when somebody needs you, you've got that bandwidth, you've got that you've got the ability to do the things that people need. And sometimes they're hard things, and sometimes, like I said, they're simple. But I think I'm coming into a season where I want to be way more squared away than I am now, and like getting to the next level. And so I've been really contemplating deeply on, you know, pivoting off of something I'm doing to something else, or expanding what I'm doing by leaps and bounds, because I feel like it's time for me to make a move. And some of that has to do with leaving my family an inheritance, you know, like leaving them something. Because if you know, we don't jump into a full chapter of Revelation 6 and 7, like in 8 and 9 here in the next 5 to 10 years, if I'm not here, or if I'm older than I am now, and I'm a little more beat up and I'm a little more slow going, I want enough security and not necessarily wealth, but security, enough put back so that they don't have to struggle. You know, I want more than a check to check kind of get down, you know. And so I guess that's probably why I'm making this video, is because I love my people and I love my family so much that I want more. And I've been thinking about that a lot. I don't want more for me. I just want to be able to do more for other people, including my family. And making moves, man. Making moves. First, it comes with a decision. And what's a decision require? It's action. It requires action. Otherwise, it's just a resolution, just an idea. It's an idea is just an idea until you put your footwork in. And so trying to come up with the game plan is, it's kind of stressful, but I think the biggest part is just to start doing it. Pick a direction and go that way and start going. And if you run into an obstacle, don't let it slow your momentum down. You know, you got to pivot. So anyhow, I hope you guys got something out of this video. I appreciate y'all. Shalom.